Let's start this video off with day 12 and slippery. So when I thought of slippery, I thought of some sort of substance on the ground, and it's extremely slippery and very soapy. So what I decided to do was this pumpkin type creature sort of came to mind. Being October, I thought, perfect, it's the month of Halloween, so let's throw a little pumpkin character in there somewhere. Now this little guy was also inspired by Seamus from Family Guy. I don't know if anyone knows that piratey sort of older fella in it, in Family Guy, but yeah, I took inspiration from that and put the little stumpy wooden limbs on this character like Seamus. So what this little guy is doing is he's pretty happy with himself. He's got like this bottle full of this soapy ingredient, and he's just completely being a menace and just squirting this stuff everywhere, just leaving a trail of slippery shit behind him, just to piss everybody off and have everyone just slip over if they try to come after him. So this guy and this character is just a little cheeky one, and I had a lot of fun drawing him because yeah, as I was drawing him, I was having a few chuckles in my head about the story for this character. It's not overly funny, but it's kind of just mischievous and yeah, whatnot. So I ended up using the green, I think it's the fluoro green ink for this one, just to give like a toxic waste kind of feel, even though it's just more like soapy ingredients coming out of this. But I sort of wanted to give that vibe as well, that it's like, it's not completely harmless. It's bad. it's some no good liquid coming out of this thing that this guy, this little pumpkin man, is squirting everywhere. So that is my piece for day 12, slippery. Day 13 is Dune, and the first thing that popped into my head was a Dune buggy. So I ran with that, and I thought, okay, let's bring Extreme Boy back and let's do a scenario where he is driving this Dune buggy through the desert. It's at night again, and he has a mate that's tagged along, and this guy is absolutely terrified. And this one I really wanted to make quite humorous and quite funny. And I struggled with the angle of the windscreen and the car at first, but then I sort of thought about it a little bit and rubbed a lot of the angles out and started again, especially with that windscreen. I don't know what was going on inside my brain, but I ended up fixing it, which is the main thing. So yeah, so Extreme Boy is launching this dune buggy off one of the dunes, and he's just like throwing his arms up in the air, just having the best time. He's just a massive adrenaline junkie. And then he has his friend holding on for absolute dear life because he has somehow managed to be launched a little bit out of the car and has nearly just been thrown from the vehicle. And yeah, he's just got absolute sheer terror on his face, like, oh my god, we are going to die. And yeah, once again, this one was really super fun to make. And yeah, I had some chuckles trying to come up with the friends' facial expressions and what I was going to do with this one. So yeah, really enjoyed this one. And I ended up going with the orange ink for this one, and I made the Dune buggy orange because I have seen quite a few orange Dune buggies, so I thought, perfect, let's make this thing orange. I've sort of been having thoughts lately about how old the Extreme Boy is, and I don't really know because some scenes he looks really young, and then in this particular one he looks quite older. Well, he's driving a Dune buggy, so in this one he's obviously got to have, got to have a license and that. But I thought, oh, that's just thinking too technical, so we'll just take that off the table and we just won't think about that. So, yeah. As for what age Extreme Boy is, we'll just make him ageless. We'll just, whatever is, I decide to put him in, we'll just run with that, and whatever feels right, and we'll just take that off the table, and yeah, we'll just enjoy some illustrations with this fella in it and not think about his age. That's my story, and I'm sticking with it. So yeah, this is my idea for day 13, June. So one thing I really like about this too is I decided to smudge the white gel pen on the light area to sort of have that sheen come across like the lights are on at night, and I thought that's a pretty cool touch. I haven't done too much smudging, and I've been sort of trying to do some of that technique with the white gel pen in some of these pieces, is to sort of smudge it and make it look, cool, like mist, or like this, in this case, like light sheen at night time. So yeah, I thought that was a really cool touch, and I really like that about this piece as well. And yeah, just experimenting a lot and seeing what different kinds of techniques that I can come up with just to make these pieces a little bit more interesting and a little more involved, and create some interest in them. So day 14 is Armour. Now I've spelt Armour the way we do here in Australia, so I've put the U in because I know that the US way to spell a lot of those words that end in OUR is just OR, but in Australia, and I think in the UK as well, we go OUR, so that's why I've done it that way. That's just the way I know, so forgive me if that's upset anybody. But this piece, I sort of came up with a night sort of sort of putting himself together and looking at the parts and just going, where do these go? How do I put myself together? Now, the original thumbnail that I drew for this just had like the knight standing there with like he's fully complete, just looking at his arm, putting his arm on. But as I sort of went through this and I started to draw it, I started to get other ideas, and I ran with him being on like this big stool, and he's not fully together. He's still putting himself together, and he's just about to click his left arm in after he's like read some of the instructions just to make sure he's doing it right. And then right at the last minute, I decided to add a box to the side with the instruction manual on the ground. That was a complete last minute addition. And I ended up changing the box number because, like, as you'll see as I draw the box, it says build a night, and it says easy, quick and fun. And then it says at the bottom, like, I originally had box 1 of 6, but then I ended up changing it to like box 4 of 6 because I sort of realized that box 1 would probably be his head, box 2 would be his body, and then box 3 would be the arm that he's already got clicked in, which is the right one, and box 4 would be the left arm. So I ended up changing that number quite a few times, and yeah, settling on a box 4, and actually it might be box 3. Did I leave it on box 3? Oh wow, okay. Okay, let's just see how that pans out, because yeah, anyway, yeah, so this guy, don't ask me how he got the rest of his body out of the box. We just won't think of that. This is, you know, just once again, take that off the table, and we just won't think of that. And yeah, so he's assembled himself, he's put his head on, the body's together, right arm is in. He's just about to put his left arm in. And then I thought, let's use pink. I don't know why. I just used pink for the accent color, but I only stuck the pink in his eyes to give him a glow. And then I stuck a bit of pink on that box for that to pop out. So yeah, that was my idea for Armour. And that is day 14. I also added a few little sparkles here and there, as you can see, some glints on him, just to portray that he is brand spanking new out of the box. So the last illustration in this video is day 15, Outpost. Now, I wasn't overly sure on what an outpost was. I had an idea of what it might have been, but I sort of wasn't too sure. And then I realized, like, outpost is a small military camp that is positioned a little bit of a distance away from the main camp, which is used as a guard against surprise attacks. So with that in mind, I went ahead and made this little tower, and it's full of these little things that are waiting for anything that could potentially happen so they can protect their main base. Now, I took a little bit of inspiration from some green frogs that we have around our house. We have a lot of green frogs here, and they basically sit on the side of the house and sit in different positions around the house, like these little guys are sitting on this outpost building. And yeah, that's what sort of really gave me inspiration, because these little frogs, they sit around like they're about to, you know, do something, or they are protecting something. So yeah, that's where this came from, and this is why I did these little frog type little creatures. And then I added some weapons into their hands. One's got a knife, one has a grenade, very poor attempt at a grenade, mind you. And then in the main tower, I ended up putting like a Gatling gun, just to just for shits and gigs, because I thought that was that was quite a funny sort of addition. That these little creatures, they're quite cute, but they've got like there's some serious get up in this tower, and they're fully prepared for anything. So yeah, that's why I ended up drawing that, and I ended up putting in some more wood grain. So there's some wood grain sort of coming back into this Inktober as well. Like last year, there was a lot of things that I did last year that had an inordinate amount of wood grain in it, and I've noticed that it's kind of like a little bit of a trend's coming back as well, and I'm doing a lot of wood grain patterns in things too. So there's no issues. I've got no issues with that, because I love doing wood grain pattern. It's just a really nice aesthetic part of a piece when you put some wood grain and some texture like that into a piece. So yeah, I had a lot of fun doing this one too. This one's quite cute. This one, I'd have to say, is also one of my favorites in this Inktober so far as well. And I just love these cute little froggy guys. They're just very simple. I just wanted to keep them simple and very frog-like, and yeah, quite cute. But if worst comes to worst, they will totally defend their environment, and they have the weapons to do that. So we are basically halfway through now, and I'm still going good. I'm still having a great time. How is everyone else traveling? Are you guys all doing well as well? And have you stuck to it? Have you kept continuing on? Have you had bad moments? Just let me know. Let me know how your Inktober is going in the comment section below. I'd love to hear how everyone's traveling, and if you're still doing it, if you're still keeping up with your drawings and whatnot. So yeah, that is it from me, guys. I will see you in the next Inktober video. Bye.